Here's the CBS lineup for next Sunday afternoon. Another NFL doubleheader. These are the first games. Depending on where you happen to be around the country, you'll be seeing one of these. Cowboys playing at the Giants. Tampa Bay on the road again against Atlanta. Washington, Pittsburgh, and Minnesota will be at St. Louis. Rams in Seattle, Detroit and Chicago, New Orleans and Denver, and San Francisco and Oakland. Vikings 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Kramer handing it off to Teddy Brown, and Brown plows across the 25 out to the 27. Again, running very impressively against this tough Tampa Bay defense. Leroy Selman, number 63, made the stop.
Well, generally you'll have more success against a good 34 defense by running from the I formation, getting the ball to your tailback, and let him flow with the action, find the open hole.
It'll be 2nd and 3. Minnesota at their 27-yard line. 75 yards on the ground now for Brown in 13 carries. Having his biggest afternoon of the year. He's in the backfield with Ricky Young, number 34. Again, they give it to Brown. Lewis gets through, has a shot at him. They got him trapped. Wally Chambers trying to run him down. He's going the other way across the 20, and believe it or not, he picked up 3 yards on the play, and I think has enough for the first down. What a run. He ran 30 to get 3.
The kid from North Carolina State knows where the first down marker is.
The man who made North Carolina State forget Roman Gabriel.
Lewis should have had him, but he missed him. There's Wally Chambers all the way back across field. Look who's out front leading this play, though. Number 9, the quarterback. Oops.
He blocks just like a quarterback.
Yeah, he does. He's not going to give him too much.
He got just enough for the first down, and Brown gets a hand as he leaves the field. Vikings 1st and 10 at their 30-yard line. Minnesota absolutely controlled the football in the second period. It's been the difference in this game. Ricky Young trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, couldn't do it. Lost perhaps a yard in the play as he stacked up on the center of the Tampa Bay defensive line.
Leroy Selman on the tackle, no gain.
John McKay. He comes out some great one-liners, doesn't he?
I tell you what, he sure does.
Funny guy.
Oh, I think they got Robert Miller in there now, number 35, at fullback for the Vikings.
They're giving Brown a rest. Miller 35, Young 34 in the backfield behind Kramer. Kramer, big rush by Lewis, forced him to throw it quickly, intended for Miller, number 35. Blitz was on that time, and Lewis came jetting through, and Kramer had no shot whatsoever.
He went to the right man. They've doubled both outside receivers.
Final score, Pittsburgh beat Dallas in the Super Bowl rematch today, 14-3. But as Tom Landry said yesterday, they don't give you a trophy for that one.
You got to put more points on the board than 3, too, to beat a team like Pittsburgh.
3rd and 10. Vikings at their 30. Bucks threatening the blitz. Come with the standard rush.
Ooh,
intercepted. Tampa Bay's Mike Washington at the 40, 35, and down to the 32-yard line. Now somebody got a piece of that ball, though. It fluttered end over end down in the field. I got to believe they got his arm or got the ball or something. Watch how this ball takes off after it leaves Kramer's hand.
Looks like a shot put here. Makes the pump, good protection. I don't know whether he touched that ball or he just palmed it. I think he just lost it.
That thing went downfield almost like a kickoff, end over end instead of a spiral, and not even close to a spiral.
That's a big break for the Bucks.
Let's see if they can take advantage of it. They have the first down at the Viking 32-yard line. Less than 6 minutes in the third period. They fake the reverse and go with Eckwood.
They should have ran the reverse.
They had Owens, number 85, coming around.
Well, here's Rashad on that previous play, coming around on a curl pattern. Works himself outside. Well, now, if Rashad would have continued with his pattern, there might not have been an interception.
2nd down. Pickup of a yard on the play. The Bucs need 9 for the first down. The ball is at the 30-yard line of Minnesota. Tampa Bay trailing 10-3. Bell, who's been a marked man, down to the 27-yard line. Tommy Hannon, number 45, upended it. Bucs need 4 for the first down. Williams in the pocket, incomplete. Intended for Giles, number 88.
Williams releasing that ball a little too soon. He could have taken a little bit more time and gotten the ball to Giles. He threw it behind him. Looks as though he has the time here. Giles just coming across field on a cross pattern. Good protection. And releases behind him. Almost intercepted by Studwell, 55, who's in there for Seaman.
O'Donohue with a field goal attempt from the 34, which will make it a 44-yard effort. Blanchard will hold on the right hash mark. O'Donohue is 1 out of 1 on the afternoon. It's long enough. It is good. That would have been good from 54 yards away.
Well, they've been saving Donohue's leg.
They only moved the ball 6 yards after the pass interception. 3 plays, and it winds up in a 44-yard field goal. So the Vikings lead now cut to 10-6. Don't forget tomorrow night on CBS, the White Shadow, as Coolidge's apartment goes up in smoke, and it's the White Shadow who gets burned. The hour of comedy with MASH and WKRP, and then Lou Grant meeting a human guinea pig, all on CBS tomorrow night. That's intriguing.
That is. Well, you have to give that Viking defense credit. They've been giving up 172 yards a game on the ground. They haven't really given up too much today with the Buccaneers ground game.
O'Donohue, 2 fine field goals today after he didn't have as much as an effort in the last 3 weeks. Didn't have a chance. Ready to kick off. Edwards will be the deep man standing on the goal line.
I don't know, you just get the feeling that something's got to happen.
4.5 minutes to go. Kick a little bit short. Edwards will field it at the 6. Back to the 15, 20. Hurdling a couple of tacklers to the 25, out to the 35-yard line. He really went airborne at about the 25-yard line, and as a result got an extra 10 yards. Let's look at it again and watch how he goes up in the air here.
Well, you talk about human guinea pigs. That's what these fellas are that return these kicks. But he knows where he's going. Up over top. That's just fine running effort on his part. He had some good blocking there too. 29 yards on that kick return.
And it was O'Donohue, the kicker, who finally made the stop. 1st and 10. Minnesota with the ball at their 35-yard line. Tommy Kramer, far sideline to Rashad at the 45-50. Run out of bounds at the 42-yard line of Tampa. It looked like he was almost the lonesome end out there. I don't think they saw him for a minute.
You know what, Frank? They got a double here. Washington comes up. That's his zone, but he sees the back out here and see him go to the back. And there's Rashad all alone. Actually, Kramer's awful lucky there that Washington took himself out of the play, and that's why in the first half, here we go, they were hitting the backs in the first half, and now Tampa's looking for the backs, and they let Rashad go.
A big gainer for the Minnesota Vikings moves it down to the 42 of Tampa. Sammy White in motion. Here comes Ted Brown. In trouble behind the line of scrimmage, and this time he's not going to get away as he is stopped at the 49-yard line in Minnesota's end of the field. A huge 9-yard loss.
That's a tough play to run against a team like Tampa that pursues so well. It takes too much time to turn that corner when you're in a split backfield. That's twice now. The play before in another drive, Brown made a heck of a play, but he had no shot there.
Richard Wood, number 54, leading the defensive charge with an assist from Leroy Selman. I was looking at one publication this week, Pro Football Weekly, which named Leroy Selman as the top defensive end in pro football.
I think I'd have to agree on that. Well, you got Chuck Foreman in the ball game. Look for a pass.
2nd and 20. Foreman on the draw to the 49-yard line of Tampa. So he picked up 2. It'll be 3rd down 18.
Leroy Selman on the tackle. Gain of 3.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Frank. Leroy Selman is some athlete. Makes a lot of things happen. Every time they run to his side, he's there to make the stop. Same thing that happened to him last year, and then they went down to Tampa Bay and ran away from him and beat him.
Bucks with an extra defensive back in Danny Reese. 3rd and 18 from the Buccaneer 49. Kramer back to throw it, drills it over the middle. Rashad at the 36-yard line. Short of the first down, tried to lateral it, but I believe it had been whistled dead. Ball bouncing wildly around the field. That's going to leave him with 4th and about 5.
Well, I think Dewey Selman was in there to let Kramer know that he's still in the ball game, but Kramer goes to the right man. They clear out with Sammy White going to the corner and bring Rashad underneath. A good catch. Yeah, he stopped. That's not a very good move, though, trying to lateral the ball to a lineman. Wes Hamilton.
Bob Tucker tried to lateral last week for the Vikings that resulted in disaster. Almost cost him the ball game. They figure it's too far out to kick a field goal as far as Dan Meyer's range is concerned, so they sent Coleman and the punting unit in. Coleman looking to the near sideline, going to try to put Tampa Bay in bad field position, and it goes as a touchback. And that's perfectly legal for him to catch that ball if the receiver isn't around, which LeCount did, but he couldn't maintain his balance and toppled on into the end zone.
What a play that would have been. Let's take a look at it here.
See, there's no receiver attempting to catch the ball, so LeCount's got all the right in the world to try to field that on the fly and keep it in the field of play. Even got one of his teammates trying to push him back. But it goes as a touchback, and Tampa Bay takes over at the 20-yard line. Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes, Archie Bunker's Place. One day at a time, Alice, the Jeffersons, and Trapper John M.D. Outstanding Sunday night lineup right after NFL football. Doug Williams, if you don't succeed, try again. Higgins is down at the 27-yard line. First down, Tampa Bay. Great throw by Williams. That had to be 60 in the air, didn't it?
He had great protection, a fine throw, and he just ran right by Nate Wright. Wright had him covered, but Higgins a little bit too fast for Wright on the man coverage.
53 on the gain.
Straight drop back pass here.
He didn't even throw that hard.
No, he just flicked it out there, and Higgins had him beat. Just ran right by Wright.
That's got to be 60 yards in the air, right on the money. A great catch by Isaac Higgins, and a first down for the Buccaneers at the Viking 27. Big opportunity for Tampa Bay. Ricky Bell storms up the middle, inside the 15, loses the ball. A fumble, and the Vikings have recovered. Coming up with it is Darrell Luce. Looked like 57. There he is.
A big play for the Vikings defense. Just a quick hooker over the right side there. Good blocking by Greg Roberts. Nobody there.
Probably Bell's best run of the day, but the ball clearly coming out before he hit the ground.
Actually, Luce popped him good, and he started to fumble the ball there, and as he went down, he lost it. There he is breaking into the secondary. Right there is where Luce hit him. He might have been down. He might have been down. Tough call.
46,906 looking on as the Vikings get the big turnover and have the first down at their 15-yard line. Young caught behind the line and tripped up at the 9 for a loss of 6. Great defensive charge by Randy Crowder. 71 in there. Lewis, 57 also in there. Loss of 6.
Crowder.
Too Tall Jones and Yaki Manassas next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular. That'll be live. Too Tall's fight, a 6-rounder. And I think it'll answer a lot of questions.
Whether he should be playing football or
That's right.
boxing.
That's the biggest one. Second down. Caught at 15 for Minnesota. Nose of the ball inside their 10-yard line. Kramer under pressure. Looked both ways. Finally tried to drop it off to Foreman.
Kramer looking towards Rashad. They had a double on his side. Came back to Foreman. Foreman wasn't expecting the pass. I think he could have made the catch.
We're down to the final minute of the third period of play. 47 seconds left in the quarter. Minnesota leading by a score of 10-6.
Foreman looks a little heavy even now at 220.
Well, he said he worked a lot on the weights. He owns one of those weight programs.
Nautilus, I think.
Yes, down in Florida. And wanted to build up his upper body.
Looks like he built his stomach up a little bit, too.
You said it, I didn't. Kramer flushed out of the pocket. We get a flag, and Kramer trying to run for the first down. Finally shoved out of bounds by number 46, Stanley Reese.
I think they get a hold on Ranieri. Boy, those experienced linemen know how to get away with it.
Penalty against the Vikings.
He didn't that time, did he?
No, he got caught.
Holding 73. Decline.
Buccaneers refuse the penalty because it sets up fourth down. And the Vikings will have to punt out of the end zone. So Tampa Bay putting a lot of pressure on. Bucs defense playing a lot better here in the second half than they did in the first.
Yeah, they made the one adjustment now. They're taking away the running backs on the passing game and forcing Kramer to go downfield.
Buccaneers 8 men on the line of scrimmage, 3 men back. Nice kick by Coleman. Reese at his own 41, 45. And that's it.
There's our man, Darrell Luce, down again to help bring up that tackle.
Lewis, former Baltimore Colt, picked up on waivers. One-time Baylor All-American. As you mentioned earlier, they've got quite a few players they picked up on waivers and have done very well, particularly on the specialty teams. NFL next Sunday. First game of the doubleheader. Depending on where you happen to be, you'll see one of these games. The Vikings will be at St. Louis. Vikings have perhaps the tougher schedule of these two clubs the rest of the way. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, will beat Atlanta. Second game of the doubleheader. You'll see one of these. First and 10. Bucs at their 45-yard line. Williams in the position to make the interception was Mr. Luce once again. Number 57. The pass intended for Eckwood, and Williams really took a lot off of it.
Williams trying to go to the slant across the middle, was covered up well, came back to the second receiver, wasn't quite able to get the ball out.
Second and 10.
Sometimes that's a problem when you got such a strong arm and then you got to deke one out. It's difficult to take something off.
Eckwood fumbled the football. Let's see if the play had been whistled dead.
That was Scott Studwell in there making the stop.
Tampa Bay will retain possession apparently at the 49-yard line after a pickup of 4.
Well, there's Studwell is still in the game for Seaman. We haven't seen Seaman in a while. Studwell doing a yeoman's job though. Good hit.
He took care of not only the ball carrier Eckwood, but the blocker Bell, all the same swoop.
Same motion.
There's the gun signaling the end of the third period of play. It's turned out to be a very tight football game here at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota. At the end of 3, it's the Minnesota Vikings 10, Tampa Bay 6. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Apartment house burned down.
So the White Shadow gets a roommate.
Going to adopt.
You mean you got the place all to yourself?
And it's more than he bargained for Monday.
This is CBS.
Sunday, Archie Bunker's Place adds a restaurant, but
We are broke.
and on one day at a time, the newlyweds move in and the honeymoon is really over. Next,
You're fired.
Alice has to outflow Flo. Then on the Jeffersons, it's Halloween and the killer rabbit attacks. Loads of laughs Sunday.
Welcome back to Metropolitan Stadium. Let's quickly check some other scores. An upset in the making here. Burt Jones is back, and so are the Baltimore Colts, apparently. They lead New England in the third period. Cleveland on top of St. Louis. And the Dallas-Pittsburgh game is a final. Third down. Big play. 6 needed for the first for Tampa Bay. Flag down. Pass caught. First down at the 18-yard line to Higgins, but there was a penalty marker back at the line of scrimmage, and I believe they'll bring it back. Well, Higgins is the guy they've been looking for.
I think we had a blown coverage over there. Either Kraus was supposed to be over deep.
First down.
I think Kraus was supposed to be deep. Bobby Bryant comes up, and Kraus doesn't go deep, so it's difficult to tell who made the mistake, but they go to the right guy.
The penalty is against Minnesota. It'll be declined. The play will stand, and Tampa Bay has a first down at the 17.
Well, let's take a look at the old man Marshall coming in there on Revis. I think he got him by a neck pin there.
Pretty good job of protecting the passer by the Tampa Bay offensive line. A big catch by Higgins.
Cincinnati 10, Philadelphia nothing in the first quarter.
Ricky Bell in motion. The pitch to Eckwood, and he is ripped down by Blair back at the 27-yard line. He shot through there like a rocket, and nobody touched him.
Boy, he's quite a linebacker. Makes the big play when the Vikings defense needs it. He just blitzes across from the left side. Nobody actually takes him, and wraps up Eckwood.
A loss on that play of 10 yards makes it 2nd and 20 for the Bucs back at the 26-yard line. Tampa Bay with just 63 yards rushing through 3 periods. Well below their seasonal average. Williams floats it to the corner of the end zone, and he's got Higgins out of bounds at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal to go. He's killing him.
He is really going after him. I'm surprised that Bryant got beat because he had help inside. If we can see this, watch Paul Kraus, the safety, who is inside, looking for the inside move on Higgins. And Bryant should have known that, and he still gets beat outside. Beat bad. Fine play and throw and protection. The Bucs are getting serious.
1st down, goal to go from the 2-yard line. Now keep in mind what happened in the first half when they got this close. And Minnesota held him for 4 downs and wouldn't let him in. Davis has come into the backfield. Ricky Bell will not be denied. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. The Bucs have the lead.
Well, somebody opened up a good hole on that left side.
They said let's not have to wait till 3rd or 4th down this time.
There's Bell from the tailback spot with. Oh, they had the blocking guy in there, Johnny Davis, number 38, blocking for Bell.
Saw Dave Revis, number 75, given the touchdown signal. 55-yard drive, 6 plays. O'Donoghue with the extra point attempt upcoming. It's an important extra point. And he blew it. It is no good. And what it means, of course, is that with a field goal, Minnesota could move back in the lead.
Is it?
12-10 is where it stands. Another look at the touchdown from ground level.
I give a lot of credit to the left side of that offensive line of Tampa, and of course Johnny Davis leading the way. Dave Revis and Greg Horton on that left side.
Take a look at the kick by O'Donoghue. Blanchard puts it down. And this could be a very important extra point as it hits the crossbar and does not go through.
It's perfect.
Welcome to our people-pleasing places.
There's just so much to do. A week isn't enough.
Hey, this superstar can do it all in one day.
Good luck, Star.
Holiday Inn Resorts have the best locations near the things you want to do. That's just one reason Holiday Inn Resorts are #1 in people-pleasing.
Enough for today.
Don't forget the disco contest.
Holiday Inn is #1
Superstar
in people-pleasing.
When Napa first made the claim that lots of Napa parts are better than your car's original parts, some folks were skeptical.
Better than the original?
Better than the original?
Better than the original.
So before we could make that claim on TV, we were told to do one small thing.
Prove it!
So we did. Lots of Napa parts are better than your car's original parts. So visit your Napa Auto Parts store. Napa. We help keep America moving.
Jets have tied Houston 24-all with 24 seconds to go on a 1-yard touchdown run from Richard Todd. So they're looking at overtime. O'Donoghue's kickoff out of bounds. He'll have to do it again.
Just like he kicked the extra point to the left.
That extra point miss could be very, very big. Of course, he makes the extra point, then the Vikings need the field goal simply to tie. But now they could win it with a field goal. We still got a lot of time, obviously. 13:59 left to play in the game.
You know, since they've moved the goalpost back, a lot of extra points have been missed. You would never think a guy would miss an extra point because of 10 yards.
Williams is now 11 out of 22 for 253 yards. His average pass completion has been 23 yards.
That's not all bad.
Not all bad. And Higgins has caught 5 for 149.
Talking about the big play.
The big numbers. Squibb this one down the middle. Fumbled. Boyd fumbled it, and the Vikings fall on it. And now they decide to run it back. That was Studwell, the linebacker, who thought, this is my moment of glory.
He looked like a fullback.
First down at the 33-yard line, and Tommy Kramer.
There's Studwell up with the ball. He's having quite a ball game.
Started to give you Kramer's stats. He's now 16 out of 24 for 151. That sounds pretty impressive, but he's actually cooled off, because at one point he was 15 out of 17. Kramer dodges Lewis, completes the pass to Young at the 45, and Ricky Young is stopped just short of midfield. First down, Minnesota. Well, you put Kramer under the gun, and he gets going, doesn't he?
He sure does. He a little play action fake here to Brown, looking for Rashad. Scrambles out of there real well and picks up Ricky Young on the run. This Young runs patterns real well. He goes to his primary objective. If he's not there, then he finds the open area, and that's difficult to teach.
Officials mark it at the Minnesota 48-yard line. White to the left side, Rashad to the right. Ted Brown down to the 45, down to the 40, to the 38. Here comes Minnesota. Coming from behind. No new thing for the Vikings this year. That's been their game.
Well, they handle Crowder here. Actually, they put Crowder right in the position to make the play, but Brown with his quickness gets 10 yards anyway.
Brown with 81 yards on the ground, and he's caught several passes as well. Ball is at the 39-yard line of Tampa Bay, 1st and 10, Minnesota. 12 and a half minutes left in the game. It's a 12-10 ball game. Tampa. Brown going outside, run out of bounds after picking up 5 more at the 34-yard line by Curtis Jordan.
Well, the Vikings are doing what they have to do, mixing it up. Throw a pass, run a play, keep Tampa off balance. There's plenty of time in the ball game. They're only down by 2.
Tampa at Atlanta next Sunday.
Well, they got Bob Tucker coming into the game for the Vikings.
There's the figures on Tommy Kramer. Tucker caught a big pass in their touchdown drive in the first half. Second down. They need 5 for the first down. The ball is at the 34. Little swing pass out to Brown. Tries to put a move on, but Jarris White wouldn't buy it.
Kramer's pass complete to Brown.
Well, that time Tampa's trying to force Kramer to go to his downfield receivers. They're going into a lot of double coverage. That's why White was able to force that pass to the running back so quickly, because he was in that short zone waiting for it.
Bud Grant utilizing his tight ends, Stu Voigt and Bob Tucker, and sending in plays from the bench. As we surmised, Houston and the Jets looking at overtime, and now they're in it. Wound up regulation tied at 24. third down. 3 needed for the first down. Vikes from the Tampa 31. Kramer on the roll. Run out of bounds short of the first down. Loss on the play of a couple back to the 33. It was Wally Chambers who kept stretching things out. And finally, Kramer had no place to go. There's Big Wally. Cost him a #1 draft choice, and he's still not playing like he did when he was with the Bears, but nevertheless, he's come along strong this year.
As usual, you hear the fans holler, go for it, but it's 4th and 4. Plenty of time.
Again, out of the range of Dan Meyer, the field goal kicker. Coleman in to do the punting. Would have taken about a 50-yard field goal. Coleman trying to get it out of bounds inside the 10, and he does. He puts it out at the 2.
Well, this is the kind of opportunity that the Vikings are looking for. Now they need to toughen up.
Coleman trying to fire up his specialty team unit there. Tampa Bay by 2, but we've got a long way to go.
The world's most advanced twin-blade razors are only as careful, gotcha, as you are. The Norelco rechargeable rotary razor has 36 surgical steel blades, carefully protected by 3 floating heads and a unique shaving angle for a very close shave wherever you are, without a nick or a cut. The choice is yours. The close, careful Norelco rechargeable rotary razor, or 2 blades and gotcha.
Last week, I went looking for a bargain on a muffler. So I go to a department store auto center. I said, get me out in under an hour. He says, what am I, Houdini? So I go to a muffler shop. I say, does that fit my car? He says, I'll make it fit. So I go to a gas station. I said, how about a guarantee in writing? He says, who's got time to write? Their idea of a bargain was no bargain. Midas gave me a good price and everything I wanted. It pays to Midasize.
Next Sunday, it's a CBS NFL doubleheader. Check local listing for the games and times in your area. A super Sunday of football. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Another big weekend coming up. NFL on CBS next Sunday afternoon. We'll be televising a total of 8 games. All right, Viking defense. Digging in now, headed by the old man, Jim Marshall, number 70, 42-year-old grandfather. Well, you laugh every time I say that. It does sound a little ridiculous, doesn't it? Tampa Bay backed up to its goal line. Nothing there on the simple handoff. They went to Ricky Bell. He stopped cold at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the Vikings had an inside blitz on, anticipating that kind of play, just trying to make yardage. Tampa Bay trying to get out from behind their goal line, get a penalty.
Well, they got a penalty on a play. See what it is.
In the neutral zone, 5 yards, first down.
Williams went to the long count and drew Mulaney off sides. Smart thinking by Doug Williams. 5 easy yards.
1st and 5, and it's appreciated, certainly that end of the field. Bucks on their own 6. Williams doesn't carry, still throwing. Trying to spear Higgins at the 25-yard line. Pass was a little high.
Darrell Luce was in his face there and causing that ball to be delivered high.
Williams has now thrown for 253 yards in the afternoon, his 2nd best day ever in the yardage department. Ironically, his best day was against the Vikings last year when he threw for 311.
Well, they sure aren't able to complain about McKay's play calling. He sure hasn't been conservative in this ball game.
2nd and 5. Eckwood wrapped up for a yard loss by Scott Studwell, number 55.
They aren't missing Seaman in there. Studwell's doing a real fine job from that middle linebacking spot.
We haven't heard what happened to Seaman, have we? He
no,
just disappeared from sight.
He hasn't played at all in his 2nd half, I don't believe.
We'll check on that, see if we can find out for you.
Well, let's see. You think Tampa's going to sit on it or get the first down?
I imagine they're going to come out throwing. 3rd and 7. Inside their own 5. Williams going to have to be careful here. They run it out to the 7 or 8. Not nearly enough for the first down, and they will be punting from their end zone.
Vikings should get good field position. We might look for the block here.
Eckwood managing to pick up just a couple of yards. So Blanchard will be kicking from 8 yards deep in the end zone. And at worst, as you said, the Vikings should have good field position. Still 10:45 left to play in the game.
They're coming. Just missed it. The count just missed that.
Edwards at the 48 of Tampa to the 45 and out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
You know, that's a smart call by Bud Grant. You know you're going to get good field position anyway, so they went for it.
Timeout here at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota. 10.5 minutes left to play in the game. Tampa leads Minnesota 12-10.
Spread your wings. Introducing the new 1980 Thunderbird, a Thunderbird of new contemporary size that shows its elegant heritage wherever you look. And with its new size and a new 4.2-liter engine, this Thunderbird has excellent estimated gas mileage and also offers the first automatic overdrive option built in America, a new engineering breakthrough. The new size Thunderbird, a better idea for the 80s.
American business is being taken over by revolutionaries. Revolutionary Savin copiers. Savin's advancing in New York, surrounding Dallas. Savin's winning over banks and brokerage houses. Why is big business going for Savin in a big way? Because Savins are fast, economical, and remarkably reliable. In fact, last year, Savin outplaced Xerox and IBM combined. So if you haven't noticed the revolution, you will. Savin, the revolutionary copiers that are winning over big business.
60 minutes coming up immediately following NFL football this afternoon on CBS. And again, that story about the church in Florida that believes that marijuana comes from God and that smoking pot is a holy ritual. And if the court rules in their favor, it could be very interesting. It'll be on 60 Minutes tonight. 1st and 10, Minnesota Vikings at the 45 of Tampa Bay. Kramer tipped in the air. Rashad, the intended receiver, was almost intercepted.
Well, they forced that one in there. They had Rashad covered pretty well. Let's take a look at this. A slant over the right side by Rashad. They dropped off two people in there. He forced that one in there. There's Ricky Young standing out there all alone.
A couple of the Bucks colliding there. Would have had a chance at an interception on the tip ball. 2nd and 10.
Cleveland 31, St. Louis 13, Frank.
Don't forget the Browns lost Greg Pruitt for the year in that game with torn knee ligaments. Little Statue of Liberty to Teddy Brown. And Brown is run out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Picked up a yard. Can't fool him with that play anymore.
No, very seldom do you see that play go. It looks good, though.
It does look good, right?
Gain of 1.
Extra wide receiver coming in for the Minnesota Vikings. Terry LeCount, number 80, on 3rd down. 9 needed for the first down. Buck defense dig it in. Tampa Bay counters with the extra defensive back, Danny Reese. Kramer under pressure gets it away. White tried to make the diving catch. It was incomplete at the 28-yard line.
And it was Leroy Selman applying the pressure. Kramer wants a flag.
Yeah. How about roughing the passer, ref?
I think that's the first time he's been hit all day. Second time, maybe.
He got Selman from the right side, and he got Wally Chambers from the left side.
Actually had time. Just took a little too long to get. That's no passing it. That's not roughing the passer.
Low snap for Coleman. Again, he's trying to put it out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. And does again. This time at the 3. Oh, my. Look at Coleman.
Boy, what a punt. 2 in a row.
How about that?
That's a weapon. He is a weapon.
He said, all right, guys, I'm doing my job. Now how about a little help, right? Timeout here at the Mets. We'll be back in Bloomington in just 1 minute.
You dance on a river of wood, and you never forget that the spinning shapes in the cold, dark water are your only bridge home. So you keep on dancing. And when you've coaxed enough logs into place to build a good-sized town, you can finally head for River's End and Miller Time. Miller Time. Time for the best-tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life. America's quality beer since 1855.
When it's time to relax, time to relax, one beer stands clear. Miller beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. If you got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer.
Tonight, Trapper John and Gonzo put their jobs on the line when they hire a nurse who's an ex-con.
It's gone. My diamond brooch.
Don't miss Trapper John MD tonight.
Bud Grant, who has guided the Vikings to 10 divisional titles in the last 11 years, 6 in a row. Not the most exciting individual around. In fact, it's a big deal this year in August when he bought a new baseball cap. Started wearing it in the sidelines.
Boy, what a job he's done with these Vikings, though.
Coleman has put the Buccaneers back in the hole again, this time at their 3-yard line. Couple of great punts. Pitch to Ricky Bell. Bell trying to make his own interference, clears it out beyond the 10, still going, and Bell is out near the 30-yard line. Like some of them hesitated a bit, thinking that he was run out of bounds, but Bell just kept on plowing.
That's what you call second effort, not only on Bell's part, but Studwell, middle linebacker, blitzed, and he makes the tackle 30 yards downfield. Let's take a look at this. There's Studwell on the blitz, picked up. Bell coming outside on the pitch. Good block in there by Charlie Hanna. Second effort by Bell, but let's look who makes the tackle. Studwell.
Great run by Ricky Bell. Moves it out to the 30-yard line. 28 yards on the rush. He now has 48 on the afternoon in 12 carries. Bell up the middle to about the 33-yard line.
Now they're trying to get Bell some yardage now. They've moved him back to tailback spot.
That run, more than anything else, seemed to cool off Minnesota's momentum a little bit. They got tremendous momentum from those 2 out-of-bounds punts by Coleman, who's been absolutely incredible.
Well, Tampa has some breathing room now. They'll work on the clock. They'll work the clock.
2nd and 7. We'll follow that clock for you. 8 minutes, 45 seconds. Left to play in the game. Bucks at their 33-yard line have Davis in the backfield along with Eckwood. And Eckwood on the carry is stopped shy of the line of scrimmage.
Vikings diagnosed that play well. They had Blair or Luce and Studwell blitzing right into that hole.
Another big upset in the making. Cincinnati leads Philadelphia 17-3 at the end of the first quarter.
Holy cow, what's
How
wrong
about
with
that?
my Eagles?
Well, your whole ball club.
I know.
And I tell you, Philadelphia certainly should have some incentive after realizing that Pittsburgh has beaten Dallas. The Eagles can move back into a tie for first in the NFC East. 3rd and 7. Screen. Bell at the 40, up to the 45, and enough for another first down for Tampa Bay.
Good call. Screen pass, as you mentioned, Frank, out to Bell. Doubling on the outside receivers, puts a linebacker on the back. And it's tough for a linebacker to cover back one-on-one.
From the end zone.
Now let's watch Williams drop back. Look downfield as though it's drop back pass. Bell out in the flat behind his lineman. There's Greg Roberts with a good block outside. Bell with good running. Finally gets nailed there.
1st and 10. Buccaneers from their 45. Eckwood tripped up behind the line at the 43. Loss of 2 on the play. Vikings jammed the middle. Sutherland was in there.
That time Bell was the lead blocker, but didn't do too much for Eckwood.
talking some about that Tampa Bay offensive line. They've made some great moves this year. Greg Roberts, one of their top draft choices, has been inserted and has done an excellent job. And they moved Hannah from defensive end last year over to the offensive line. He's done a great job. Houston has beaten the Jets in overtime on a Tony Fritz field goal. 27-24. 2nd and 12. Flag down. Eckwood trying to hang on. Almost intercepted.
Sometimes you wonder if the Vikings are in Tampa's huddle. Again, the Vikings coming with a blitz. A screen pass puts Kraus to safety.
Vikings offside, so Tampa gets a break on the play.
That puts Kraus to safety right there covering the halfback, and he has to make the play, which he did.
6 minutes, 39 seconds left to play in the game. Let's get the call here from the referee, Jim Tunney.
2nd down, offside defense, number 77, still 2nd.
It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Buccaneers at their own 49-yard line.
Holloway coming in for Mulaney.
Doug Williams, 13 touchdown passes coming into this game. That's tied for tops in the NFC with Roger Staubach. However, he has thrown 11 interceptions. Bell. It was Marshall who corralled him at the 47-yard line for no gain.
Marshall still has that good lateral movement. I guess it just goes to show that the guy that stays in shape at 42 can still play.
Well, we were talking about his off-season conditioning program last night, and I think you seem to feel that it wasn't all it should be.
I was surprised. I read so much about him when I was playing, where he used to take karate and skydive, and then to come here and find out that he's fallen into the old age syndrome where he's not doing too much. But he looked pretty good on that play.
3rd down. Buccaneers need 7 for the 1st down. Ball is back at the 48-yard line in their end of the field. 4:52 left to play in the game. Blitz by the Vikings. Williams gets rid of it, but the pass is short of the intended receiver, Larry Mucker, number 87. Nate Wright, number 43, coming up on pass defense.
You know, we were also told by the Vikings that they only blitzed to throw somebody off balance. They've been doing an awful lot of blitzing here the 2nd half.
That's true. Much more than their normal pattern.
Number 32, Edwards.
4th down, and the Bucs will give it up here with 4:46 left to play in the game. Blanchard in to do the punting.
What does that tell you? Listen to what you can see.
That's right. Tampa Bay leading 12-10. Edwards chasing this one to the near sideline, but he's not going to catch up to it. And this time, it was Blanchard who nearly gave the Viking fans a heart attack. That thing just did get into the end zone. Looked like for a moment it was going to skip out of bounds inside the 5. Touchback. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. That's our story. 4th period, 4:38 left to play in the game. CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday. First fight of Too Tall Jones. The battle of the NFL cheerleaders and the World Series of Poker. Part 1. Yeah, that is interesting. Gabe just noted that we have 2 scoreboard clocks here, and each of us shows a different time. One is 1 minute, maybe one is on Central Standard Time, and the other one didn't change over from the daylight. I don't know. But one says 4:38 and the other says 5:38.
I think it depends on whether the Vikings are behind at the end of the game.
The main scoreboard clock is correct, and that's the one that shows 4:38. They're making an announcement right now. Well, now Jim Tunney, the referee, is pointing to the auxiliary clock, and he says that's correct. That's the official. Didn't he point to the other one?
I thought he did.
5:38 is official, yes. We're going to get this straightened out.
They get carried away at times.
Yeah. Tunney indicated he pointed to the auxiliary clock, which shows, and that's the way they're pointing. And that's the one that says 5:38. There it is. So unless we are notified otherwise, we'll assume that that is the correct time. They had a little problem with the clock last week in the game against the Bears, too, I understand. First and 10, Minnesota at its 20-yard line. They need a field goal to go ahead, and they give it to Brown. And Brown is corralled behind the line of scrimmage. Good defense by the Buccaneers, Randy Crowder and Leroy Selman.
Not much of a drop-off when Crowder's in there, even though Kohler's not playing today. Crowder's playing a bang-up game at that nose guard.
Loss of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 for the Vikings at their 18.
Tommy Kramer at the throttle of the Minnesota Vikings. Seems to be best in the clutch when they really need it. Like right now, Rashad on the reception for the first down at the 32-yard line.
I tell you what, that's pinpointing the ball. They got a double coverage here on Rashad. He splits the double, gets inside of it, and Kramer right on the money. There's Washington outside, and Brown had him inside, but Rashad with the experience, or Curtis Jordan's in there now. He had him inside.
1st and 10, Vikings from their 32-yard line. A lot of time, 4 minutes, 25 seconds, and counting. Brown stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No running room at all. Buccaneers, Gene Sanders, number 74, and on that stop.
The Vikings are getting a lot of double coverage on their outside people, and yet they're leaving their tight end in to help on protection. To beat that coverage, they're going to have to get the tight end out and go to him on that double coverage.
2nd down, 12. Minnesota nose of the ball just beyond the Viking 30-yard line. Rashad wide to the left side. Sammy White flank to the right.
There's a safety blitz.
Kramer just does get it away, and it's almost intercepted by Washington, who picked the last one off. I don't think he saw it until the very last second.
That was Cotney coming in from the strong safety, forcing that play on the outside, picked up by Tucker, 38.
Keep in mind that 3 of the 4 Viking victories have come with 17 seconds or less to play in regulation time. One of those went into overtime.
So don't go home.
Don't go home. Because they can move it in a short period of time, as Kramer showed just before the half when he led them to their only touchdown.
Johnson's out. Jarris White is in, or Danny Reese is in.
3rd down, 12 needed for the first down. Kramer, 19 out of 33, lets it go. Intended for Rashad, who has caught 6 for 95 yards, but not that time.
Kramer a little upset at himself. He had him.
Well, here come the New England Patriots. Down 24-16. They have just moved past Baltimore on a Steve Rogan 8-yard run. 26-24 with 7 minutes left to play in that game. Pullman in to do the punting. I don't think he'll put it out of bounds inside the 5 this time. Reese going to let this one bounce. It takes a Viking hop inside the 30-yard line and will roll dead at the 24-yard line. So Tampa Bay will get the football with 3 minutes and 22 seconds left to play. And now, of course, the Bucs would like to run some time off that clock.
And with the kind of running game that they have, you would think that probably they'll stay to it and try to get 3 minutes off the clock.
Keep in mind, a victory gives Tampa a 3-game lead in the NFC Central. A Viking victory moves them within 1 game. So there's a 2-game swing involved. John McKay.
McKay looks like he should have a golf club in his hand.
A little casual. Eckwood to the 29-yard line. Pickup of close to 5 on that play. Scott Studwell, number 55, runs him out of bounds. By the way, we got word that there's nothing wrong with Jeff Seaman. Apparently Studwell's just been doing a better job, and they've left him in here in the second half.
Well, he's been all over the field making great plays. Now you don't want to get out of bounds now. Keep that ball in play. Keep the clock running.
Officials mark it at the 30, so there's a pickup on the play of 6. It'll be 2nd down 4. Both clubs have all of their timeouts left, should that become a factor. 2:40 now left to play in the game. Eckwood dancing his way to a first down for Tampa Bay at the 35. So all they have to do is hang on to the football, run off a couple more first downs, and they'll have this victory. Clock running toward the 2-minute warning now. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And moving along. See if the Vikings will use one of their three. Yes, they will. Right now. They'll stop the clock with 2 minutes and 16 seconds left to play in the football game. Minnesota trailing by a score of 12-10 as Doug Williams heads to the far sideline for a word with his head coach, John McKay, and Bill Nelson, the offensive coordinator.
And now, a highlight of the incredible Ford factory tour. Incredible developments in our search for good performance, better mileage, and low emissions. We're working on a ceramic gas turbine engine that'll get at least 30% better mileage than a conventional engine of the same size.
Buddy, I'd call that incredible. I would.
We're experimenting with battery power. For instance, this hybrid vehicle. Over 20 miles per hour, it runs on gas. Under 20, runs on electric.
Oh, that's even more incredible.
Is there such a word as incredible-er?
Ford is even working on an engine that gets mileage like a diesel, but runs a lot cleaner.
Is there anything more incredible than incredible?
Yes, our little 4-cylinder Mustang. It accelerates like some cars with 8-cylinder engines because it's turbocharged.
Friends, I guess there's only one way left to express our basic emotions.
Ford, that's incredible!
To take the incredible Ford factory tour, write us for information.
Frank Lieber with Roman Gabriel back at the Met in Bloomington, Minnesota. There's a story. Time left, 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Tampa Bay in control right now. They have a 1st and 10 at their own 35. They can hang on to the football, put together a couple of more first downs. Their lead is precarious, 12-10. Williams, Ricky Bell. First down, Tampa Bay, as Bell rushes for 11 yards. That's 78 yards rushing and 16 carries for Bell.
Watch Darrell Lucier, right linebacker, blitz right by the play. He had an open hole there. Bell runs right by him. Vikings had the right call, but just didn't make the play. Bobby Bryant brings him down.
They're going to call another timeout here. And looks, by the way, like he did not get quite enough for that. Did he or did he? Yes, he did get enough for the first down. Yep. Ball is at the 47-yard line. Tampa Bay's end of the field. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bucs. Time remaining, 2 minutes, 1 second.
Our corporation had to have an insurance company that pays medical claims promptly, fairly, and courteously. Connecticut General really came through for us.
Coming through for you. That's what CG people do.
Dental claim forms are a lot easier to fill out when they're in my language instead of insurance-ese. And that's how Connecticut General comes through for me.
Coming through for you. That's what CG people do.
Call us. We'll come through for you, too.
Vikings use their second of 3 allotted timeouts to stop the clock with 2:01 left to play. A little bit unusual when a team uses 2 of its 3 before the 2-minute warning.
Before the 2 minutes, surprising.
Figured they'd save them some time, however, since the clock would have kept on running. After Bell was tackled a moment ago. They continue going with the big horse, Bell. Clock is now stopped for the official 2-minute warning. 1 minute, 58 seconds left to play in the game.
Vikings trying to stop that running game by blitzing.
So the 2-minute warning goes to both benches here at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota, and we'll be back with the finish in just a moment.
A big green football team, an endless yellow sea, a cherry pie, an orange sky, the bluest eyes you'll ever see. Yes, America's true colors come through on GE.
GE TV brings you America's colors vivid and lifelike, and our special VIR2 circuit adjusts the color automatically.
Yes, America's true colors come through on GE. GE, we bring good things to life.
Sharp razor blades are designed to give you a closer shave. Great for my beard, but can still be irritating to my skin.
So I help protect my skin with Rise. Rise is thicker than the leading foam. Look, I can't even shake it off.
Rise helps protect my skin against irritation.
So for today's close shaves, get today's Thick Rise. Helps protect your skin against irritation. Thick Rise helps protect your skin against irritation.
New England and Baltimore involved in a track meet. Joe Washington has just run 12 yards for a touchdown, and Baltimore has recaptured the lead 31-26. Our score 12-10. Tampa Bay leading. 2nd and 10. Bucks at their 47-yard line. 1:58 to go. The Vikings with 1 timeout left. They're just going to give it to Bill, I guess, till he drops.
The Vikings shooting the linebackers, something that they do well in this situation. Well, about the only chance you have to stop that run.
Coming up next, the Packers and the Dolphins. Second half of our CBS NFL doubleheader on most of these stations. Vikings can stop the clock one more time. They have 1 timeout left. 3rd down, 10. Bucks at their 47-yard line. Again, Ricky Bell caught behind the line. Big loss on the play back at the 42-yard line.
Studwell and James White. Another blitz.
Timeout, Minnesota. They have used their last timeout. So Mr. Kramer will get an opportunity to do what he did against the Chicago Bears last week. With virtually no time remaining, he will not have a timeout left. He did have one in their final drive last week. He scored with 13 seconds to go, and we'll be back in Bloomington right after this.
Hello, I'm Chuck Connors, and this is Tin Can Alley. An exciting new electronic target game that truly tests your marksmanship from as far away as 25 feet. But Tin Can Alley is safe because it only shoots a beam of light that's as safe as a flashlight. Well, even a rifleman sometimes misses. Tin Can Alley, for real target practice at home from Ideal.
Ready to punt. Oh, Blanchard gets it away. Had the rush on, but they didn't get there. Edwards makes the catch at the 20, 25, 30. Up to the 32-yard line. Their big drive last week started with a big punt return by Edwards. That gave him good field position.
That time he did it all on his own as the Vikings went for the block. That Edwards can sure move.
That set the stage for you now. The Vikings trail by 2. There's 1:03 left, but Minnesota does not have a timeout. First down at their own 32.
If you're Tampa Bay, you don't want Minnesota to complete any out patterns to stop the clock, force everything inside.
Kramer. Trapped by Leroy Selman at the 30-yard line. He was ready to unload it, and Leroy dropped down in the sky from it.
Kramer had time, but he got up too close to the line of scrimmage and allowed the lineman to come off of his own people.
Kramer over the middle. Hits Terry LeCount for the first down at the 48-yard line of Minnesota.
That's where the open areas are going to be, Frank, in this prevent defense that Tampa Bay's throwing up. They're not going to give him anything outside.
Official timeout being called.
Randy Crowder taking too much time to get back over the line of scrimmage for the Buccaneers, trying to run timeout.
Both field clocks are inoperative. 45 seconds remaining. 45 seconds.
There's the reason for the timeout. Now both clocks have gone out. Both of the field clocks are out, so Jim Tunney, the referee, I'm sure will keep us informed. 45 seconds left to play in the game. First down. Vikings at their 47. Tommy Kramer scrambling, looking. Finally gonna...
Oh, he was over the line of scrimmage.
He hits Brown at the 10. There are flags everywhere. They're going to bring it back.
He went over the line of scrimmage.
I don't think there's any question about that. Kramer ran past the line of scrimmage before he threw the ball. Look at the flags everywhere. The completion took it down to about the 10-yard line.
Must have run off about 10 seconds because it took quite a while for that completion.
Kramer didn't quite know what to do.
2 fouls. Illegal pass. Man was over the line.
Marker. He's well beyond the down marker there.
There's the illegal man downfield.
He tried to kind of back up. So 2 penalties against the Vikings, plus loss of down, which costs them dearly. That moves it back to the 38.
Jim Howe, number 51.
Was refused. Man downfield was accepted. 10 yards only. First down and 20.
All right. So it's first down and 20.
There must be, what, 30 seconds to go. It's difficult to tell, no clock.
The only man who knows is Jim Tunney. He didn't tell us after that play. A lot of confusion here. Kramer gets the pass away. Rashad with the reception at the 40-yard line at Tampa Bay. Keep in mind a field goal can win it for Minnesota.
Time's running out. Got to be down to 20, 23 seconds now.
We're only guessing because the Vikings don't have any timeouts and both field clocks are inoperative.
Got to get out of bounds.
Brown runs out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Maybe we can get a reading from down in the field as far as the time is concerned. Here comes Jim Tunney, the referee. I think he's going to tell us.
Clock is stopped out of bounds. 1 second remaining. 1 second.
1 second. Time for one more play. Obviously, this is beyond the field goal range, I would think.
About the only thing you can do here is put 3 receivers on one side of the field, send them all down in the same direction and throw it up. Hopefully there'll be a rebound somewhere along the way.
1 second left to go. Tampa Bay leading by 2.
They got 3 of them over there on the right side.
There they go downfield. Kramer winds up, puts it up for grabs. Into the end zone. It is batted away. The ball game is over and Tampa Bay has won it by a score of 12-10 to move 3 games in front of the defending champion Minnesota Vikings in the NFC Central Division. A wild final minute of play. A disgusted Tommy Kramer. He gave it all they had. But a little tough to operate from 70 yards away if you don't have any timeouts left.
I tell you what, that was a game effort. Actually, that last pass was on the money. The count was in the end zone. But a good play by the Buccaneers to break it up. Heartbreaking loss for the Vikings.
Well, the Vikings may come back yet, but I'll tell you, you can't bet on their chances now. And I wouldn't start writing playoff tickets yet in Tampa, but I'll tell you, I'd start thinking about it a little bit.
I think so, too. Tampa playing good football.
3 games lead, 7 games left. Bill Barnes, our producer this afternoon, and our director, Bob Dunphy, providing the excellent pictures. Proved to be a very, very exciting afternoon of football here at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota. Tampa Bay coming from behind to beat the Minnesota Vikings 12-10. Stay tuned now as the NFL Today continues after this word from your local station.
There's a church in Florida that believes marijuana comes from God, that smoking pot is a holy ritual. If the court rules in their favor, it could affect marijuana laws everywhere. 60 Minutes tonight on CBS.